Was this the ending no one dared imagine? The question thundered through the fandom like a sudden storm, striking at the core of a group that once seemed unshakable. When whispers began circulating that Kim Taehyung, known worldwide as BTS's V, had quietly stepped away from something important, the word bomb began spreading like wildfire. And when Jungkook, the youngest member and often the emotional compass of the group, finally broke his silence, the world held its breath. What was he trying to say when he murmured, "Some things can't stay the same forever"? Was he hinting at a farewell, offering wisdom, or warning fans of a shift no one was prepared for? The universe of BTS has never been ordinary. It has always been a realm powered by passion, sincerity, artistry, and the unshakable bond between 7 men and millions of fans. Yet sometimes, moments of quiet say far more than any lyric ever could. And during Jungkook's recent livestream, his voice softer, his expression dimmed, fans instantly sensed something was off. He didn't need to speak Taehyung's name. The emptiness already said enough. "I hope everyone understands," Jungkook whispered before adding the sentence that shattered timelines worldwide. Sometimes when someone chooses a new path, it's not because they're leaving you. It's because they're finding themselves. Within seconds, social media erupted. A new path? Finding himself? What does that even mean? Was Taehyung really gone? The chaos wasn't rooted in losing a superstar. It was about the fear of losing a piece of a dream fans had held close for years. Taehyung has always been unpredictable in the most poetic way, introspective, artistic, someone who saw the world through a lens of meaning rather than fame. Lately, his posts had shifted dramatically, soft dawn skies, handwritten words like change, truth, freedom. Fans assumed it was artistic expression, until one day the posts vanished, replaced with a single black image captioned, "Thank you for understanding me." The internet froze. Had Taehyung stepped away from music? From BTS? Or from something even deeper? In K-pop, silence speaks volumes. And this silence was louder than anything fans had ever experienced. Industry analysts noted that the timing of Jungkook's comment was strange. BTS had been going through a transformative phase, each member exploring individual projects, but all promising they would reunite. But what if one of them wasn't returning? What if Taehyung's path had truly turned in another direction? Even more unsettling was the way Jungkook spoke, avoiding eye contact, choosing every word carefully, almost as if each sentence was carrying emotional weight. Viewers described his tone as heartbreak disguised in composure. "I talked to him," Jungkook said quietly. "He's doing what he thinks is right. I respect that." To some, it sounded like support. To others, it sounded like a soft, painful goodbye. Speculation spread like wildfire. Was Taehyung leaving HYB? Was he stepping into acting? Was this about personal healing? Fans began digging through old videos, interviews, and moments, searching desperately for answers between smiles and memories. One old clip resurfaced in which Taehyung said, "If one day I disappear, remember it's because I needed to breathe." Back then it seemed poetic. Now it felt like a warning. Those close to BTS have always described Taehyung and Jungkook's bond as something profound. More than bandmates, the two shared a quiet understanding, a closeness that didn't need explanation. So what happens when one of them chooses a different direction? One producer once said, "Jungkook feels things deeply. He hides it well, but when he breaks, it's real." And during his last performance, fans noticed it, the way his eyes trembled, the way he glanced toward the spot where Taehyung usually stood. It was a small gesture, but it was enough to make millions cry. The idea of Taehyung leaving raised a terrifying question. Can BTS truly remain the same if one of their hearts is missing? Taehyung's voice, his artistry, his emotional depth, those were not just pieces of the group. They were part of its soul. Without him, it felt like an irreplaceable void would open. Music critics have always praised the synergy between Jungkook and Taehyung. Two energies that balanced each other. When they performed together, it felt like two worlds colliding in harmony. And now, one of those worlds seemed to be drifting away. Could Jungkook's emotional message be his attempt to gently prepare fans for a future without Taehyung? Or was he simply asking fans to understand that change doesn't always mean an ending? In one heartfelt interview, Jungkook said, "Even if we're far apart, what we built will never disappear." Fans clung to that line, wondering if it was comfort or confirmation. But not everyone believed the worst. Many argued that Taehyung's silence hinted at transformation, not departure. Maybe he was creating something deeply personal, something true to who he had become. "There's no breakup," one fan declared online. "There's evolution." Taehyung has always been a free spirit. Whether through photography, jazz, or abstract ideas, he chased meaning over popularity. Perhaps this new path was liberation, not loss. Still, uncertainty creates fear. And for ARMY, fear spreads quickly. They've stood by BTS through everything: criticism, rumors, hardships. But this felt different. More intimate. More fragile. Taehyung's absence. Jungkook's somber tone. HYB's silence. It all painted a picture of transition, an era shifting, even if no one wanted it to. Cultural commentators even began suggesting this moment could become a defining turning point in BTS's history. Not an ending, but a rebirth. If the group continued without Taehyung, it would mark their most emotionally challenging chapter. But if he eventually returned, it would become one of the greatest comeback stories ever told. But as the storm grew, something else quietly surfaced. None of it was confirmed. No official statement had been issued by HYB or BTS. No credible source announced Taehyung leaving. And insiders soon began clarifying that the panic likely came from misunderstanding Jungkook's reflective mood, not from any hidden truth. Taehyung had not said he left anything behind. He had not disappeared. He had not issued any farewell. His recent silence was simply part of his creative process, a habit those close to him said was completely normal. Taehyung often retreats to reset, recharge, and create without noise or pressure. And Jungkook's words? They weren't meant as a message about Taehyung at all. They were about life. Change. Growth. The natural evolution of people and relationships. The internet magnified fragments of a sentence into a global panic. As of now, all 7 members of BTS, including Taehyung and Jungkook, remain bonded emotionally, artistically, and within the group's future plans. No one has left. No one has said goodbye. What the world mistook for tragedy was simply the sound of artists growing. And as the frenzy quiets, one truth remains steady. BTS is still together. Their story is nowhere near finished. This was not the end, only a misunderstanding shaped by love, fear, and the intensity of a fandom that feels every heartbeat as if it were their own.